How does functools partial do what it does? I am not able to get my head on how the partial works in functools. I have the following code from here. Now in the line. I get that whatever argument I pass to encrypt will be passed as y to lambda, which will return some 1, y, i.e. 1 plus y. I understand that. But I didn't understand this in K2 4. How does the 4 gets passed as x in partial function? To me, 4 should replace the sum 2. What is the relation between x and 4?
Roughly, partial does something like this, apart from keyword arg support etc. So, by calling partial sum2, 4, you create a new function, a callable, to be precise, that behaves like sum2, but has one positional argument less. That missing argument is always substituted by 4, so that partial sum2, 4 2, equals sum2 4, 2. As for why it's needed, there's a variety of cases. Just for one, suppose you have to pass a function somewhere where it's expected to have 2 arguments. But a function you already have needs access to some third context object to do its job. So, there are several solutions. A custom object. Lambda. With partials. Of those 3, partial is the shortest and the fastest. For a more complex case you might want a custom object though. Partials are incredibly useful. For instance, in a pipeline sequence of function calls, in which the returned value from one function is the argument passed to the next. Sometimes a function in such a pipeline requires a single argument, but the function immediately upstream from it returns 2 values. In this scenario, functools.partial might allow you to keep this function pipeline intact. Here's a specific, isolated example. Suppose you want to sort some data by each data point's distance from some target. To sort this data by distance from the target, what you would like to do of course is this. But you can't. The sort method's key parameter only accepts functions that take a single argument. So rewrite Euclid_dist as a function taking a single parameter. P_Euclid_dist now accepts a single argument. So now you can sort your data by passing in the partial function for the sort method's key argument. Or for instance, one of the function's arguments changes in an outer loop but is fixed during iteration in the inner loop. By using a partial, you don't have to pass in the additional parameter during iteration of the inner loop, because the modified, partial function doesn't require it. Create a partial function, using keyword arg. You can also create a partial function with a positional argument. But this will throw, for example, creating partial with keyword argument then calling using positional arguments. Another use case, writing distributed code using Python's multi-processing library. A pool of processes is created using the pool method. Pool has a map method, but it only takes a single iterable, so if you need to pass in a function with a longer parameter list, redefine the function as a partial, to fix all but one.
Short answer, partial gives default values to the parameters of a function that would otherwise not have default values.
Partials can be used to make new derived functions that have some input parameters pre-assigned. To see some real-world usage of partials, refer to this really good blog post here. A simple but neat beginner's example from the blog covers how one might use partial on re.search to make code more readable. Re.search method's signature is: by applying partial, we can create multiple versions of the regular expression search to suit our requirements. So for example, now is underscore spaced underscore apart and is underscore grouped underscore together are two new functions derived from re.search that have the pattern argument applied, since pattern is the first argument in the re.search method's signature. The signature of these two new functions callable is. This is how you could then use these partial functions on some text. You can refer the link above to get a more in-depth understanding of the subject, as it covers this specific example and much more.